What's good? What's good? Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Chris back with another one for you guys. 2013 Chevy Captiva. Should be the same far as the other Captivas, but we're going to change the rear brake pads and rotor. Yeah. Hopefully they don't try to get, they said they didn't want to change it, but we're about to see. But let's take it out. 19 millimeter. All right, let's get it to it. Make sure you're on good. All right. It sounds bad already. All right, so let's get these off, get the wheel off. I always use a jack and a jack stand for safety so you don't injure yourself. So let me set up, be right back. All right, so we got the wheel off. 14 millimeter. Always check your wrench, righty tighty, lefty loosey. If you have a long extension, this is a 3-inch, so I'm coming behind the brake line here so I can get to it, and I'm gonna support the neck. Remove my light, move this light, and I'm gonna support the neck right here so it'll stay straight because of leverage. Give it some smacks. So if you smack it coming off, it's gonna be the same, about the same going back on. So now I can separate this and get to this dude down here. And you want to break everything free. All right, there we go. Hopefully these are loose enough to come all the way out, and they are. And hopefully this caliper will come out. I need to get me a screwdriver real quick so I can pop it up, and hopefully there's no issue. But this rotor does need to be replaced. It's still thick, but it needs to be replaced. They're trying to get by for the weekend right now, so they're gonna have to buy new brake pads, but can't afford the rotor right now, so I'm gonna show you the procedure on changing the pads. So slide them up and off, and definitely don't let your pads wear down this far. I'll show you in a second. Let me get my stuff. All right, so we're back in there. Got a screwdriver. Let me bring you up a little closer. That should be okay for now. Take you a screwdriver. Go in here and pry it out. But yeah, change them. This is one of those emergency brake jobs just because of the condition of these pads all the way down. So definitely change your rotors, okay? If you can afford to, change them. They're not too thin, but it's gonna mess up the new pads, okay? Then you're gonna have to do the job twice. So do what you gotta do when you can do it. I just wanna show people what to do. I'm not gonna use the new brake clips because the rotor and all that's hit. So we're gonna save these, and let's match up the pad. Pads look good so far. Yep, same pad, but this rotor does definitely need to be changed. So we're gonna get by for now.
The inside is frustrating.
We're gonna get by for now, and that way we can show everybody in the community what's happening. As long as you get by. Now the inside is actually smoother than the outside.
Really?
See? Still got some pad left.
Okay.
This one has no pad left.
Okay.
And we're showing everybody else too. So let's pop these back on since we know we're gonna change this rotor in the future. We're gonna keep these same clips. So ain't no sense of doing that. Let's check to see friction. Rotor dust. Rotor shield. Okay, the shield was rubbing a little bit. All right, and all right, we're gonna get a C-clamp so we can compress this back. And yeah, check our guide pins. They're moving freely, so that's great. So hopefully this compressor's back with no issue. Let's flip it around this way. Make sure that's on camera good. And we good. All right. Let me get a C-clamp. All right, so we back in here. You got your pad, your old pad, you got your caliper like this. We'll take our C-clamp. Make sure we good. I'm getting ate up by mosquitoes. All right. And then let's slide it up quick. Set C-clamp. Let's go ahead and crank him down. Hopefully he'll compress back, no issues. Uh-oh, he might be toast. And if it don't compress back, it's toast. And let's see what we got. No leakage. And I had a feeling the caliper was going to be toast. So basically the heat and everything when you're pressing the brakes and it goes down to the metal of the pads, after it gets down to the metal, they start to fry the caliper. So after it gets so hot, it will not recede or recess in. So I'm trying, You see it's locked, and I'm gonna mess up my C-clamp. So that being said, gonna have to stop. Gonna have to get a caliper, so it'll be caliper and brake pad replacement. So I shall continue the video when we return. Yep. So we back in there. We're gonna change the caliper now too. So got these two bolts on the back down here. Let me get a good shot. One here and one above it for your rotor bracket, which are 15 millis. So we're gonna use this breaker bar. Trying to break it free. Got a little more leverage. You only got so much clearance right here. It's gonna be kind of hard to get a 1/2 inch in there. So we'll be going down. Hopefully it'll break free. There we go. One, you can smack it. Sometimes you can't, especially on bigger vehicles. You're not gonna be able to smack it, but we got to get this out of here. All right, so we got those loose. Get our ratchet back. And when you get back here, just be careful so you don't lock up. So you might want to use a regular wrench. These are pretty loose now. So regular ratcheting wrench or a crescent wrench, so you don't lock up against the caliper, because you won't be able to flip the switch back. In there. So that one's loose. We're gonna take this bracket on and off. You see, we already disconnected the caliper because we was only supposed to do the brake pads, but it is what it is when it is. All right. So since we have to do this, now we're gonna need some brake fluid to bleed the new caliper. And we'll know if everything's good here in a brief moment. Yeah, the inside of the rotor is cool, the outside's bad, so all good. Let's go ahead and disconnect this dude right here. Should be a 11. Let me verify real fast. Yep, it's gotta be 11. And if it is, I gotta go to my other kit. Yes, it's 11. All right. See if I got one over here. 13. All right, no 11. Gotta go to my other kit. All right, got my other kit. Let's get it open. Let's find this 11. And there he is. All right, so now we should be able to break this free. Nice 11 there. And it's gonna be kind of tough, so you may or may not be able to get it with it off. So we're gonna try to break it free, and if not, we're gonna try to pry it up against something to hold it so we can break it free. So I think that's gonna be good. I'm gonna lock it up against the rotor like this, try to crank it. All right, so I'm just trying to break it free, and I did. So since I did so, done so, I'm gonna get something to pinch off the line, so some clamps or some vice grips or something like that. All right, so we back in here. Let's pinch off this brake line and see where we're gonna go. Okay, about right there. Before I do so, let me see if we get any fluid, because we may have a collapsed line. So I just want to make sure we're good. Yep, and we got fluid, so you know your line is good if you got fluid coming out. So that's great. Don't need a new line. We're just gonna clamp it off, and you don't want to do it too hard. Just want it to close the line. There we go. So we're gonna let that sit there. We shouldn't lose too much fluid now, and we can take this caliper off, and we can do this process in reverse when we come back. For those who want to stay, for those who know what they're doing, please subscribe to the channel. And no rust is the enemy on these things, which causes us to work so hard in different places and spaces. So for those who are staying, we're getting ready to go get the new dude. When you take it in, you're gonna have to take the old bracket with you. Otherwise, yeah, they won't give you a core fee. All right, so yeah, we're good. Let's go ahead and shoot on up here, and when we come back, we'll be doing the reinstallation. So, well, the installation. All right, tune in. So we back from the parts store. We got our new caliper, and it's time to get it in. This would be the point where you would change the rotor if you were changing it. Some of them have rotor screws, And this one here is just on there. You would have to tap it off. Let's see. Yep, just to beat off. That sounds bad. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this open. And I feel like a 15. Let's see, verify. Or 14. Nope, it's 15. All right, feels good. All right, so I usually separate my caliper so it's easier to put on because it's got some weight to it. So I usually separate mine. Let's see if this is on camera good. No, so we don't back up some. All right, so I usually set mine on the ground and try to crank it free. Sometimes it's real hard, so I usually step on it. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Step on it. Break it free. All right, after we get him free, let's get him on. They came with new ones. Yeah, those came with the pads. They came with new ones with the caliper and a new banjo bolt. So definitely don't use your old banjo bolt. It will void your warranty. So I set it all together. But yep, comes with it. It also says it on the caliper. It will void your warranty. Okay. So let's get these dudes out so we can proceed on putting the bracket on. Everybody got different ways they do it. Alright, got those bolts out. Separate the bracket. Sit the bolts down. Get a bracket on. And our bracket bolts. Alright. Remember where I showed you earlier. Got to go through and get it lined up. Come on, line up for me, baby. Try to at least get one started. Right there. All right, got one on. Let's get this one. Might have to play with it a little bit, like I'm doing. All right, they're going. That's great. Hand tighten as much as you can if you feel like it, or you can just go in with the ratchet, but hand tighten as much as you can. That's the best way to go. All right, 15 again. Get this bracket on. And I'm just gonna put the breaker bar on it, see how easy it was to get off. I'm sure it's a torque spec. And is this the, no, it's 14. So these are 14s for these bolts, and it's a 15 for those. All right, 15 for the rotor brackets. And let's tighten down. And I know it's a torque rating, I'm not quite sure of it, but see it was put on, taken off with a breaker bar with some extra hits. So if you want to do the torque wrench thing, go ahead. It's good to have one, but if you don't, same way we got it off. And if you already know what to do, you don't have to say nothing on the channel. Or if you don't like what I'm doing, go to another one. So many of them. And this is to help anybody that don't have all these tools. Okay, so there we are. Let's get these new Caliper bracket clips on. Came with it, and then we'll start bleeding the caliper after we get everything back on. Don't lose your banjo bolt. It comes with crush washers, and they're going to crush down in order for the fluid to come through. So let's get these clips on. I'll bring you guys a little closer for the clips. Okay. All right, clips. Make sure they don't rub up against the rotor. Same thing up here. And you want to make sure they seat it real well. Sometimes they don't, and you have to use a screwdriver or something to pry it in, but it helps make sure. Otherwise your pads won't sit well. So let's go ahead and throw the pads on now. And try to count for everybody so I don't mix nothing up as far as my sockets. So got everybody there. Let's get our pads on. Brake screamer usually goes on the inside, slides in. Now, you got your lips here. I usually come on the outside, the edge here, sit it there, and then just kind of work it in. Today they went good, some days they don't, okay? So if you have brake grease, go ahead and use some. If you don't, it's not gonna hurt anything. So let's go ahead and get set up all the way. Now we just need to put this on, pop this dude on out for a hole. Then we can line everything up, slide your guide pins in a little bit, get your bolts again, wiggle it a little bit, feel it, and we get another light. There we go. And we're about to switch back to the 14. And let's do it. And same way you took it out, put it back on. You don't have to have a torque wrench. And we're gonna do the same thing. When your wrench starts to do this, tighten up. Start to bounce back, tighten up. All right, now we set up for our brake line, and we still got it pinched. So this is gonna sit like this, okay? So now let's get it set up. Got our new banjo bolt and our new crush washers. And let's slide one on first. Got one, slide him through at the top, and you got the other one that goes at the bottom. Let's put him in, give a few threads, and we're gonna go ahead and get him on now. And this will be the next step, will be to bleed the system. So you're gonna crush this down, 11 millimeter. I'll put it back in my other kit. One momento. All right, got the 11. So we're gonna go ahead and crush this on down. Got my cuz, he's about to start pumping the brakes so we can bleed the system. I also have a video on my channel how to bleed a brake caliper. You can look that up as well. So this will be the procedure on replacing the pads, the caliper, and if you are changing the rotor, go ahead and do so. But yeah, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and always know rest of the enemy on these things. And one other thing, sometimes they change the bolt sizes. 11 mil was the other one, this is a 10. And they mess us up sometimes because they upgrade stuff, which is not bad, but you may only have an 11. You may not have a 10. So now I'm gonna crush this on down. We're gonna break free our bleeder screw here. It should be a 10, looks like a 10. And nope, that one's 11. Yep, 11. So everything is kind of, just gotta have some extra sockets, okay? So I just want this to break free right now so I can continue crushing my washer down so we can get fluid to come out. And then while you're doing that, continuously check your brake fluid reservoir, because if you empty it all the way out, you're gonna have to fill it up and bleed every caliper again. So this will be the procedure on changing it. Give a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe to the channel. It don't hurt nothing. It's free. It helps you help me and help me help you. So to the next video, guys. Live life, love it, and I'm out of here.